Live from our London headquarters, this is the Weekly Waffle with Cameron Murray and Maddock Jones.
Hello, it's the Weekly
Hi.
Waffle.
It's 1:05pm and we are live, even though it's like 1:07pm. But anyway, I'm Maddock Jones,
We're a bit late.
Yeah.
I'm Cameron Murray.
as always. And what a show we have for you today.
First of all, what is the Weekly Waffle?
Yeah, what are we? To be honest, I don't really know. Do you? We're like a little
We
mystical
are-
creature.
We're a radio station broadcasted live onto YouTube.
Yeah.
Weekly.
Weekly.
Plus, we'll get the odd evening show with Cameron Murray.
With that guy talking, hence the name Weekly. It kind of be broadcasting around this time, and so stick around for some fun, some shout-outs and games. Do you know the news? Because I don't really know the news, but
Look,
stick around.
We've
and
got news coming in
we'll
about
tell you the news.
Yeah. anything you want to know. We will tell you,
Of course.
except
know.
your future.
Yeah, comment in and we'll answer it.
Now, what's going to be coming up on today's show?
Coming up,
Okay, in around one song's time, we're going to get some interesting facts.
For myself, and also we'll be doing a little top 30 list, which is always great fun.
Plus.
To plus.
In around 10 minutes, we'll get the news.
Yeah, with Nicky Fennell. And also some funny news headlines, which is always rather funny, because, it brightens up your day. It really does.
It really is quite funny.
And, with these things, you can comment in, tell us what list you want us to do next. And, yeah, but first up, let's have a song.
Here's a song. Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise on the Weekly Waffle.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lined in chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta low. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the state, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got my 10 in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a loped out gangster, set tripping banker. And my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life, do or die. What can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24? The way things is going, I don't know. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Power and the money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour, everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking what's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I got to learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck, fool. We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living
Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise.
Wow.
An amazing song there.
Now,
It's time.
for some interesting facts, so let's get into it.
Yeah.
First of all-
Maddie, you go first, yeah.
The Statue of Liberty, an iconic statue in New York, but did you know it is actually made of copper? And the only reason why it's green is because when copper reacts with oxygen, it makes a greenish colour.
Sorry,
So
when was the Statue of Liberty green?
it is now. It's kind of like a greeny bluey colour.
Right, I thought it was just grey.
Yeah, greeny bluey grey. Yeah, I'm not really too sure what you call that colour, but anyway, like loads of years ago when it was made, it was a brown copper colour. How cool is that? Also, do you know
No, I didn't.
the highest selling debut album of 2009 was by Susan Boyle? Isn't that rather amazing? I'm not quite sure what happened to her, Susan.
I think she just she made her song, made enough money.
Made enough money.
and
Probably
then-
didn't really want to be famous, you know.
I don't blame her. Yeah, right.
You know, just wanted to sing a couple songs, get herself out there. Anyway, Cameron, what have you got up?
Well, I have some other facts. They're not exactly as interesting as that, but space smells like seared steak. A lot of S's in that sentence.
Of course.
Yeah, when you see footage of astronauts floating peacefully in space, do you ever wonder what does space smell like?
I
Seared
haven't.
steak.
Well, I mean, it could smell worse. It could smell better. But, you know,
Also, because I'm a half Scottish, this kind of yeah. The unicorn is the national animal of Scotland.
oh, I knew that. Not interesting. I'm joking.
Okay.
That's kind of cool, though.
It also proudly boasts the Loch Ness monster, one of the world's most famous fabled creatures.
Wow, indeed. Also, from one highest selling debut album to another, who had the highest selling debut album ever as a female?
Let me guess, Madonna.
No.
Fergie.
No.
Britney Spears.
Yeah. He totally didn't just read the notes I wrote down. Yeah, the highest selling ever by female is Britney Spears, and the highest selling ever is by Guns N' Roses, I think. So you learn something new every day.
You sure do. And thank you for that, Maddock.
Thank you. This is Bulletproof.
Bulletproof La Rue, probably one of my favourite songs. Yeah, I do like playing it.
He does.
Coming up, after this song, we're gonna have some lists of like top things ever. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Bulletproof.
Yeah, here's Bulletproof La Rue on the Weekly Waffle.
Been there, done that, messed around. I'm having fun, don't put me down. I'll never let you sweep me off my feet. I won't let you in again. The messages I've tried to send, my information's just not going in. Burning bridges shore to shore, I break away from something more. I'm not turned out to love until it's cheap. Been there, done that, messed around. I'm having fun, don't put me down. I'll never let you
Bulletproof on the Weekly Waffle. Hello. Okay, we said it's time for your top 30 lists. So here we go. Number 13 is Friday Night Dinner. And Maddock has something to show you about Friday Night Dinner.
Wilson, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know we don't give up, cause that's your birthday.
Well, thanks for that, Maddock.
You're welcome.
Weekly Waffle with Cameron Murray and Maddock Jones.
So if you haven't watched Friday Night Dinner, that's Jim. He is a weirdo.
Yeah. We do recommend it.
We definitely do recommend
Yeah.
Friday Night Dinner.
Yeah, it's really fun.
It's a very good show.
Anyway, at number 12, it's Tracy Beaker. Remember Tracy Beaker from when you were younger?
I do.
CBBC.
I don't think it exists anymore.
No, I don't think it does. I rather liked it when I was younger.
Yeah.
Anyway, at number 11, a controversial pick to say the least, it's Love Island. Ooh. Ooh.
Not Love Island.
It's Love Island. It's Love Island. Right.
That's literally not what he sounds like.
No, it's not.
It's like.
Oh, he's Scottish, isn't he? The guy. Anyway.
No, he's not. He's like, hello everybody, welcome
Yeah,
back
that's
to Love
Scottish.
Island.
Yeah, that's Scottish.
It's not Scottish.
It is.
It's really
He's
not.
Scottish.
I
His
promise
name's
it's not.
Ian Sterling, and
That's not.
Sterling.
He's not Scottish. He's like Yorkshire or something.
Whatever. Anyway, number 10. It's Strictly Come Dancing. Wow.
Is it?
It is. It's Strictly Come Dancing.
Who likes Strictly Come Dancing?
Old people.
Oh.
But, you know, in all respect, last year it got better ratings than X Factor and Britain's Got Talent. So I think what you can say is there's a lot of mid-women, 40-year-old people watching it.
Okay.
So out to all the 40-year-olds here tonight. Number 9. Oh, it's Come Fly With Me.
A great show.
I used to watch that a lot when I was like...
I still do.
8.
I've watched every episode about 5 times.
He really likes it.
Probably more.
Number 8, it's the Numberjacks, the little cartoon. I haven't seen that.
Same.
I've heard about it, but I just haven't seen it.
I literally haven't even heard of it.
Anyway, number 7, Saturday Night Takeaway, Anton Deck. Some good bits, some bad bits. The good bits are quite good though, and I do.
It's quite scripted, I think.
Yeah, it's quite kind of obvious and can get a bit boring.
Yeah.
But you know, the pranks are amazing. The
Pranks?
yeah, they are undercover pranks.
Oh.
Yeah, and they go undercover and like
Yeah.
prank the celebrities, and also they're like Get Me Out of My Ear. Some of them are really funny. Number 6, the In-Betweeners, just amazing, really.
In between is, yeah.
Just great. Number 5.
Did you see the American version?
Oh, it's terrible.
So bad.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen it, but I've heard
They
it's-
tried to
Yeah.
understand British humour.
Look, Americans don't do remakes of British shows. It's not going to end out well.
Except The Office.
Except The Office, that's really good.
That's really good, yeah.
Number 5, 64 Zoo Lane. I honestly don't know what that is.
I've seen it a
honestly
few
don't know.
times when I was a kid.
Is it like a kids' TV show?
Yeah, it is.
Like In the Night Garden or something.
Yeah.
Number 4, Mr. Bean. Iconic. Everyone knows Mr. Bean, even British people.
Who does even British?
Yeah, I meant to say even people who aren't British know Mr. Bean. People in India watch Mr. Bean. Everyone loves Mr. Bean.
Right.
Number 3, Total Wipeout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brings me back to some good days.
Although after a while it got quite repetitive
Yeah.
because you were just seeing the
Yeah.
same thing over and over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. I think it got cancelled because I haven't seen it on in ages.
Yeah.
Number 2, Celebrity Get Me Out of Here.
Once again, a little bit scripted,
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah.
reality TV-ish.
Yes. Yeah, some reality TV shows are great, some aren't. I don't mind that. There was a really good year. The lady seeing it, that was amazing.
Right,
That was
number
great.
1. This is quite controversial. I wouldn't have voted this myself.
Yeah, I wouldn't voted for it, but I understand why it is here.
Yeah.
Because it's very iconic,
Yeah.
it's very British, everyone knows it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It
it's
is.
Horrible Histories.
Horrible Histories. You know, can you do a theme tune?
I don't even know.
I don't even. It's like something like. Well, it could be.
Great.
Any
Oh, I
theme
love
tune.
that theme tune. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be any theme tune. But anyway, number 1, Horrible Histories. I do love that. It is nice.
Oh, thank you, Maddock. And coming up next is funny news.
But first,
The Weekly Waffle with Cameron Murray and Maddock Jones.
She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. I said, don't mind, but what do you mean? I am the one who would dance on the floor and around. She said, I am the one who would dance on the floor and around. She told me her name was Billie Jean as she crossed the scene. Then heavy hair turned with the ice cream of being the one who would dance on the floor and around. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. And mother always told me, be careful who you love. Be careful what you do. Cause the love becomes the truth. Billie Jean's not my love. She's just a girl. That I am the one. But the kid is not my son. She says I am the one. But the kid is not my son. For 40 days and for 40 nights, I was on his side. But who can stand when he's in demand? Her schemes and plans. Go and dance on the floor and around. So take my strong advice. Just remember to always think twice. Do things twice. She told my baby dance to 3. She looked at me and showed a photo. Baby cried, his eyes were like mine. Go and dance on the floor in the round, baby. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. But she came and stood right by me. Just a smell of sweet perfume. I guess it happened pretty soon. She called me to her room. Billie Jean's not my love. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. Billie Jean's not my love. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. She says I am the one. But the kid is not my son.
Hello, this is the Weekly Waffle. My name's Karen Murray. Look, we're gonna have to pause the radio for a sec. There's some
Sorry
technical
about this.
difficulties in the studio.
yeah.
Be back in about 10 minutes. Bye.
The Weekly Waffle with Cameron Murray and Magic Jones.
Yeah. Right, we're back. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. You know how it is. Just sometimes it doesn't work and it gets a bit buggered.
Yeah.
Yeah. To put it, basically, it was buggered.
All fixed now, though.
Yeah, all fixed now. So,
In around 15 minutes, we'll get the news.
and before that, there'll be some funny news.
Funny news headlines.
Yeah, but first, let's have a song.
No, first we'll be having a bit of a mix.
Yes, a mix.
So I'll be mixing some mashups.
Yeah, Cameron will be doing his DJ thing, and so stick around.
But until then, let's play some songs. Good as hell. This is Lizzo on the Weekly Waffle.
I do my
Commenting.
head toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Woo, child, tired of the bullshit. Gone, dust your shoulders off. Keep it moving, yes, Lord. Trying to get some new shit in there. Swimwear, going to the pool shit. Come now, come dry your eyes. You know you a star, you can touch the sky. I know that it's hard, but you have to try. If you need advice, let me simplify. If he don't love you anymore, just walk your fine ass out the door. I do my head talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell. Baby, how you feeling? Woo, girl, need to kick off your shoes. Gotta take a deep breath, time to focus on you. All the big fights, long nights that you've been through. I got a bottle of tequila I've been saving for you. Boss up and change your life. You can have it all, no sacrifice. I know we did you wrong, we can make it right. So go and let it all hang out tonight. Cause he don't love you anymore. So walk your fine ass out the door. And do your head talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? And we gon' be on the head talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Yeah. Alright. Listen, if he don't love you anymore, then walk your fine ass out the door and do your head talk. Check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Head talk, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Head talk, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? And we gon' make you head talk, check my nails, baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell. Baby, how you feeling?
This is the Weekly Waffle. And that was Maddock doing his little Sada Hobada. Yeah, thank you, Lizzo, for that. Good as hell on the Weekly Waffle. Right,
Anyway.
it's time for some funny news.
Yeah, let's get on with it, Cameron. What have we got first? You need to make me laugh. If I don't laugh, then you're out.
Right, thank you. I'm
You're
out.
Yeah, you're out.
Here's the first one. This happened this week. A driver was caught with sofas strapped to his car roof.
Bit weird. How many sofas?
Well, the furniture was wedged into the car and below the open car boot, secured with only a few straps.
Wow, that's a lot of sofas.
Police have shared a photo of car they stopped in Glasgow, which had sofa chairs strapped to the roof.
Yeah.
The 49-year-old man was reported to prosecutors in connection with the vehicle's load,
Oh.
and he has been arrested.
I don't know, you could get arrested for that, but
Yeah. I know.
anyhow.
Maddock, can I hear your funny headline?
Oh, I don't have any.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't know.
I'll give you another one then. So, in Nevada, zombie deers are threatened to invade.
Zombie deers.
Here's what's happening. The contagious terminal illness has been compared to mad cow disease in cattle,
Wow.
making the deer lethargic, thin, and extremely weak. It means they don't have a fear of humans anymore, so they will literally just attack them. And there's a picture of one. Oh my god, that looks scary.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to Nevada anytime soon.
Nope.
That's all I'm saying.
I was never really planning to go there, but anyhow.
And that'll be it for funny news today.
Also,
Oh god, he's got one.
I have found one. An Oxford professor claims that aliens are breeding with humans to save Earth. I'm not quite sure if that's true.
Yeah, what's your source?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. This might be true. A raccoon has finally reached the top of St. Paul's skyscraper. So that's one clever raccoon. The articles are rather short on this webpage.
Yeah, thank you for that. Look, it's time for my 10-minute mix.
Live from our London headquarters, this is the Weekly Waffle in the mix.
Okay, so if you're new to the Weekly Waffle, it's where I give you some of the best mashups around, where two songs are basically put together in one.
You don't need to explain it.
Well, yeah, I don't need to explain it to you because you've heard it all before.
I have heard it all before.
Okay. So here we go. Let's do our first song on the 10-minute mashup mix. Staying Alive and Pink Floyd.
That's like
The Weekly Waffle.
doesn't make sense. Staying alive.
You would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep. 'Cause they'd fill the open air and leave teardrops everywhere. You'd think me rude, but I would just stand and stare. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. 'Cause everything is never as it seems. 'Cause I get 1,000 hugs from 10,000 lightning bugs as they try to teach me how to dance. A foxtrot above my head, a sock hop beneath my bed, a disco ball is just hanging by a thread. I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. It's hard to
The Weekly Waffle.
stay awake when I'm asleep. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep.
The Weekly Waffle. The Weekly Waffle.
This is the Weekly Waffle. And Black and Yellow Wiz Khalifa featuring, versus Gorillaz Feel Good on the Weekly Waffle.
After that, Nicky will be coming in for some news.
Yeah, you don't need to whisper. We've got time for one more song though until the news, and it comes from the Police.
Whoop whoop! It's the sound of the police.
The Weekly Waffle.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid.
This is the Weekly Waffle, and that was a bit of stand by me. Okay, it's time for the news now.
The Weekly Waffle. News.
Here are the headlines tonight. Almost 800 ISIS supporters escape Syrian camp after Turkish military attack. Boris Johnson's last-ditch plea to EU to get Brexit deal done. And autistic boy who's 11 tried to kill himself after bullies beat him with mental pole.
Hello, this is Nicola Fennell. You noticed the two mistakes there, I'm sure, in Cameron's news reading. It was metal pole, not a mental pole, although I think the bullies must have been a bit mental. Also, Cameron, the news tonight, I think it's only 2:00 in the afternoon, so it's the news this afternoon. Talking of mistakes, did anyone watch the MasterChef final?
No.
Because I noticed a mistake on that. The dessert for the winner, whose name escapes me, Greg Rutherford, they showed two versions of it, one with chocolate flakes on top and one without. So they obviously cooked more than once, or something funny was going on. Anyway, back to those headlines. Over to Cameron.
So yeah, on to that first story again. Almost 800 ISIS supporters escape Syrian camp after Turkish military attack. Boris Johnson has urged the Turkish president to halt his attack on Kurdish forces in northern Syria.
Yes, I was actually listening to a talk show about this earlier on, and it's quite interesting because some people say we shouldn't put people in a camp, we should bring them back to face trial here, because at the moment all we're doing is breeding more terrorists by keeping all their children in these camps where all they hear is how bad the West is. So maybe we shouldn't be having all these people in camps. I'm not saying they haven't done anything wrong, but is this the answer going forward?
Okay, thank you, Nicola.
I always like to give a view.
If you agree with her view, please comment in. We want to have a little discussion.
And Boris Johnson's last-ditch plea to EU to get Brexit deal done.
Well, yes, as you've probably have been aware, the countdown to Brexit is ticking ever nearer. It's like Christmas, isn't it? It seems to go on forever. But we really are only potentially 2 weeks away now from possibly leaving the European Union. Boris seems to be making a last-ditch attempt. Who knows if he'll get a deal? Who knows if we want a deal? Who knows what Brexit is? That's what I say.
Okay. And we heard about the murder of a 15-year-old boy yesterday in Whitechapel. Anna Fennell has more.
Oh, it's actually
The
Nicola
Weekly
Fennell. Anna
Waffle.
Fennell's my sister. Oh, sorry.
The Weekly Waffle.
Man
Sorry.
is fighting for his life after being knifed during a fight in East London. Police were called to the scene in Whitechapel at 2:05 p.m. of reports of a man fighting, and a man was found at the scene with stab wounds. He's been rushed to hospital where he remains in a critical condition, Met Police said. Two men who were at the scene have been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder and taken into custody for questioning. Later this evening, another young man was repeatedly stabbed in front of horrified shoppers inside Westfield Shopping Centre in Shepherd's Bush. The victim, who is said to be in his 20s, was rushed to hospital just after 7 p.m, but his condition is not yet known.
The Weekly Waffle.
Thank you, Anna Fennell. Back to the news with me and Nicola. The autistic boy who's 11 tried to kill himself after bullies beat him with a metal pole.
Shocking story, this one. Sorry, I had those headphones on. It makes your voice go funny. Yes, 11 years old, and he's got autism, and the bullying was so bad that he developed post-traumatic stress disorder. Very sad, but what I say, if any of you are victims of bullying, speak out against the bullies. They can't win. So phone our emergency helpline. Can we give our phone number out on air?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just put it in the chat and we'll
Put it in the chat and we'll phone you back, okay? Because we want to hear from you. Nothing like this should ever happen again.
Thank you, Nicola. And finally, on the Weekly Waffle news, woman dropped 14 metres from rescue helicopter is among 19 dead in Japanese typhoon.
Wow.
Thousands of troops have been deployed to rescue people stranded in flooded homes as the typhoon Hagibis death toll climbs. And that is it for the Weekly Waffle News. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be back next week on Sunday for more Weekly Waffle News. The Weekly Waffle.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really, really, really wanna zig a zig ah.
If you want my future, forget my past.
If you wanna get with me, better make it fast. Now don't go wasting my precious time. Get your act together, we could be just fine. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really, really, really wanna zig a zig ah.
If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever. Friendship never ends. If you wanna be my lover, you have got to give. Taking is too easy, but that's the way it is. What you think about that? Now you know how I feel.
Say you could handle my love. Are you for real? I won't be hasty. I'll give you a try. If you really bug me, then I'll say goodbye. Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really, really, really wanna zig a zig ah.
If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever. Friendship never ends. If you wanna be my lover, you have got to give. Taking is too easy, but that's the way it is.
So here's the story from A to Z. You wanna get with me, you gotta listen carefully. We got M in the place who likes it in your face. You got G like MC, who likes it on a easy V, who doesn't come for free. She's a real lady. And as for me, how you'll see, slam your body down and whine it all around. Slam your body down and whine it all around.
If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever. Friendship never ends. If you wanna be my lover, you have got to give. Taking is too easy, but that's the way it is. If you wanna be my lover,
You gotta
make it last forever.
slam your body down and whine it all around. Slam your body down and whine it all around. Slam your body down and whine it all around. Slam your body down and zig a zig ah.
If you wanna be my lover.
The Weekly Waffle.
Shut up, Paul and Blue can tell. Remix, I go make them head swell, yo. Yo, hey, yo, boom, yo, hey, yo, dirty. So what's that supposed to be about, baby? Girl, free up your vibe and stop acting crazy. Reminisce on all the good times daily. Why you tryna pose like I be acting shady? What's that supposed to be about, baby? Girl, free up your vibe and stop acting crazy. Shonda Paul, I give it a good loving daily. Now you tryna pose like I be acting shady.
You say you love me, but you're never there for me. Yeah. You'll be crying, slowly dying when I decide to leave. All we do is make up, then break up. Why don't we wake up and see when love hurts?
hit music belongs here on your number one station.
The Weekly Waffle.
The Weekly Waffle, that Sean Paul and Blue Cantrell Breathe.
Now, before that we had the Spice Girls. Now, in their song they said, tell me what you want, what do you really, really want? So I have a question for you guys listening. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want, and comment down below, and we will give it to you. But first, it's time for Celeb of the Week.
The Weekly Waffle.
Now, this is a new segment that I just made up. And we're going to be talking about famous celebs who have interesting lives. Now, first up, Pete Burns. You may know him, you may not. He was famous in the 80s for the number one hit of You Spin Me Right Round, and then again in the 2000s with his number 3 hit, You Spin Me Right Round. And he also entered the Big Brother house and made a thing of himself. But why is he interesting, and why is he on this list that I'm gonna do? Well, I may answer that question for you. Wow. He was born in Liverpool. His mother was a German mime artist who escaped the Holocaust in the war and went to Liverpool and married a factory worker. Pete Burns was then brought out in a rather not very nice house, yeah, to say the least. When he was younger, he never went to school. He spent most of his days in a wardrobe, painting and putting makeup on. His mother loved makeup. She would put it on lots of times a day. Pete Burns also was raped at the age of 14 at gunpoint, which traumatically scarred his life in a rather negative way. And also when he was younger, his mum had suicide attempts, and one time he found her with her head in the oven. Another time he found her cutting her wrists open and her veins falling out.
Jeez.
Thank you, Cameron. However, things did go slightly uphill because he got a girlfriend, moved to London, and started his fashion business with his girlfriend. He then had little ventures in music until he became a musician. His first album did okay. He did little bits and bobs on TV and at clubs, and then his number one hit, You Spin Me Right Round, propelled him to stardom. It went to number 1 on the UK and in many other places in Europe and across the world. However, at that time, he was feeling rather unhappy by the way he looked, so he went to a backstreet butcher and got a nose job. However, the nose job completely failed. It was botched, and he had to wear an eye patch to cover his botched nose, which wasn't very nice for him. He had another few successful singles with Brand New Lover, Hooked on Love, Bits and Bobs. You probably haven't heard of them. He was mainly really famous in Japan when Turn Around and Count to 10 went for number 1 for I don't know how many weeks, but it was a lot of weeks. He was then asked to go on tour with Madonna. However, he declined because his mother just got cancer, which also really scarred his life. And then he was caring for his mother until he decided to relaunch his career. However, it didn't really go well, and he was getting abuse, and he didn't like it, so he quit his job. He quit everything, and he was only found again a couple years later with his face madly changed. He looked completely different and more like a woman. People said he looked ugly, and he got a lot of abuse from it. He did other bits and bobs. He had a couple singles, a bit of TV work, nothing too major, until in 1999 he made a crucial decision. He would get a lip job. However, it got botched, and soon after, a couple years later, there was this pus oozing out. It was coming out of his cheek, his lips, his chin. He woke up one day and it touched the skin and it would squirt out. It was coming out of his butt, and he had to insert a tampon to stop it coming out. There was holes in his skin, and it would just squirt across the room. It was terrible. He almost lost sight in one eye, and his teeth rotted away. everyone thought he was going to die, or at least have his face amputated off, or his lips amputated. However, he met a really good surgeon who was a cancer surgeon and turned his life around. He was under 2 years of reconstructive surgery, lots of major operations a week in Italy, and after about 3 years he was left bankrupt with practically no money, but a new face with a lot of scarring. He then went into Big Brother, became famous again, and guess what? You Spin Me Right Round went to number 3 again in that year. He was then compelled to even bigger superstardom that he had before. However, he didn't want it. He never asked for it. He just wanted a couple money so he could live his life and not be bankrupt. A couple years later, he did bits and bobs, and he sued the surgeon. He had even more plastic surgery. However, he suffered a major cardiac arrest at his home at the age of 58 because of his blood clots that causes the plastic surgery to clot his blood in his lungs, and he died in 2016. So thank you very much for listening, and that was Celeb of the Week. You're welcome.
The Weekly Waffle.
That's...
The Weekly Waffle. In the mix.
On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro, I know, you know, I go psycho when my new joint hit. Just can't sit, gotta get jiggy with it. That's it, now honey, come ride. DKNY, all up in my eye. You got a Prada bag with a lot of stuff in it. Give it to your friend, let's spin. Everybody looking at me, glancing a kid. Wishing they was dancing a jig here with this handsome kid. Sick a cigar right from Cuba. I just bite it. It's for the look, I don't light it. Ill way to ammo on the hand, stay on play. Give it up, jiggy, make it feel like foreplay. Yo, my cardio is infinite. Big Willie style's all in it. Getting jiggy with it. Getting
Hiya! What?
Hello, that was Getting Jiggy with It. Will Smith.
Yeah, getting jiggy with it.
Before that, we had Hallelujah,
Cameron.
Happy Monday, and the Paul Oakenfield remix.
Cameron,
What?
may I call you Jiggly?
What?
It's a reference that you wouldn't understand.
Well, I do not understand and I do not approve.
He does not approve Jiggly. And
Go on. That's it from us today. It's been a great show,
yeah.
but all good things have to come to an end.
All good things have to come to an end. We'll see you next week at Sunday at 1:07 p.m. or maybe 1:06 or 1:05 or 1:04 or 1:02 or 1:01 or maybe 12:59 or maybe 1. You get it. We're gonna see you next week on Sunday or maybe Saturday. It'll be Sunday.
Bye!
Bye.
The Weekly Waffle with Cameron Murray and Maddock Jones.